Hey, what's up, ladies? It's the Relationship Guru, Sid Pharrell. Now, I'm back again with another video just to give you ladies, because I just got a message for one of my dear clients, and they wanted to know what are some questions that women need to ask a man before they start dating. Like, what are some questions that women need to ask before they start getting into anything serious, or they start being boyfriend, girlfriend, or they start even just getting to know each other? Like, what are some questions? What are some things that women need to know before anything even starts? Like, anything, right? Okay, ladies. So I came up with my top 5 questions that women need to ask a man before they even start dating, Okay? All right. So I'm going to jump right into the video, and we're going to go into number 1. Now, the first question that you have to ask a man before you guys start dating is, are you open to a relationship right now? Right? So when I say that, I mean like this. The reason why you ask, are you open to a relationship right now, is because you want to see where his head's at, right? Because you don't know, like, if this man is open to a relationship or not. Because some men, they not open. Some men, they just want to just have sex. They just want to have fun. They just want to do their thing. And they're not open to a relationship right now at this moment. Or maybe never open up to a relationship ever with anybody, or maybe not with you, So you want to see where his mind's at, if he's even open to a relationship, just off the rip, because you as a woman, you don't want to waste your time. Now, you could waste your time, by dealing with a man, and you never know where you stand with him because you didn't ask the proper questions, You didn't ask him, are you even ready for a relationship? Because you, as a woman, you might want this relationship with him, or you may want a relationship, period. But if he's not on the same page as you, then you're just wasting your time, correct? So you have to see where his mind's at first. So if he's not even in the mindset of wanting a relationship, then there's no way that can even work, because you guys are on 2 different pages. He doesn't want a relationship. You do want a relationship. So you're going to waste your time chasing after this man that doesn't want a relationship in the first place. Because if he tells you, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, I'm trying to get me together, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or, no, I'm not dating right. I don't want to date right now. I don't want nothing serious. I just want to have fun. Maybe he'll tell you straight up, regardless. That gives you a chance to say, okay, I see where his head's at. I see where this is going. I see, the bigger picture of where our relationship could potentially go. And it might not go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's on 2 different pages with you, then, y'all not gonna get it together. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies, make sure that you ask this question. Are you even open to a relationship? Are you ready for a relationship? Are you open to one? Are you ready for one? If a relationship came to you right now with the right woman, would you accept it right now? Do you want a relationship? Like, where is your mind at when it comes to a relationship right now? Okay? All right. Because you don't want to waste your time, So that's number 1. So number 2 is, what are your thoughts on marriage? Right? So that's the second question that you should ask a man. What are your thoughts on marriage? Because the point of dating is to date, to be boyfriend, girlfriend, to be engaged, to be married, and to live happily ever after, right? Ain't that the goal of relationships when you're dealing with somebody, is to get married? Because if not, then y'all just having fun and y'all just wasting each other's time, or y'all just in for the moment, or in for the whatever, the season or whatever. But outside of that, it's no long-term goal here. So you need to ask him, like, what's the long-term goal of relationships when it comes to marriage? And if he does not, because some men, they don't believe in marriage. Some men, they don't want to get married. They never want to get married. They don't believe in marriage, because I feel like dating, you date to get married. Like the point of dating is to eventually get married. Like, it steps to this. Like, you meet each other, you getting to know each other, y'all start dating, y'all boyfriend, girlfriend, y'all get engaged, y'all get married, y'all live happily ever after. That's how it should be, right? So if he's not even in that mindset again, as, okay, Like the first one I said was, are you even open for a relationship? He might say yes. But are you open for marriage? You know, if marriage came down the line, would you be ready for it? Would you want a marriage? You know? And if he says, nah, I don't never want to be married, or nah, I don't feel marriage, I don't really like marriage like that, you know, I never thought about it, you know, it ain't nothing that I'm really interested in. And once again, you as a woman, you could be potentially, you know, wasting your time, because you're basically asking this man, does he want marriage in the future? And if he says no, then isn't that the whole point of y'all talking? Like, if y'all not talking to get married, then y'all just talking just to have fun, just to kick it, just to, you know, for the moment. And I mean, that might be cool. That might be cool for him. That might be cool for you. But if you, as a woman, if you really want a relationship with a man and you really want to be with him and you really want something serious, then you should be able to ask that man that question. And if he responds, you know, yes, I do, you know, think about marriage and I do want to get married, then, you know, that's good, because now, you know, he has long-term goals when it comes to dating, you know what I'm saying, and relationships in general. But if he says no, then now you know that, you know, hey, you know, if he don't never want a relationship or marriage, you know, especially, you know, when it comes to marriage, then, you know, after a while, because some men, you know, they'll just have you in a relationship forever. You know, it's some women that's been with the same man for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years and never been married. It's a lot of women that's been in relationships with a man for forever, for fucking ever. They've been in relationships forever and never got a ring, never got married. You know what I'm saying? And it happens every day. It happens every day. There's plenty of women that's been with men for a long, extended period of time. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, and never been married. Some people been together for forever. 50 years plus, never been married. You know? And it happens. You know what I'm saying? So in order to avoid all that, what are your intentions when it comes to marriage? You know, what are your thoughts? What are your, you know, beliefs when it comes to marriage? You know? Okay, so that's number 2, right? So we're going to go on to number 3. Number 3 is, where do you see yourself within the next 5 to 10 years, right? So that is a very, 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 very serious question, right? You may ask, why is that a serious question? Because you want to know, what is this man's lifetime goals, like long-term goals? You know, what are his goals in life? You know, where does he see himself? How does he view himself? What does he want to do with his life? You know, where is he going to direct his journey in this thing we call life? Where does he see himself? You know, and if he don't have no vision, a man with no vision, how can he lead you and lead the household if he can't even lead himself? You know, so ladies, you need a man with a plan. You need a man that knows, okay, I'm gonna have this done. By in 5 more years, I'm gonna be here. In 10 years, I'm gonna be here. I'm trying to get here. I'm doing this. I'm working on this. I got this going. I want to do this. I got it all written out. I got my goals, my dreams. This is what I want to do. I'm passionate about this. Something. You need a man with a plan. You don't need a man that's just going through life like, la 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 la, he don't know what the fuck going on. You need a man that knows what he wants to do in life. Because like I said, a man that cannot lead himself can never lead you, can never lead the household, can never lead a legacy for you and your children. You know what I'm saying? So if he can't even lead himself, he can't do that for you. You know? So that's something that you really got to pay attention to. And then again, you know, in the same breath, you don't want no bum ass dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't want no bum ass dude that can't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's not going to try to do nothing for himself, if he don't have no goals, dreams, passion, aspirations in life, what he's just existing. He's just taking up space because he don't have nothing else to really just build up to, you know, in life. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that he is aiming for, nothing that he wants to achieve. He don't have no goals, no dreams, no nothing. It's just like he just live day by day. It's just like, you know, it's just like whatever. So you don't need a man like that. You need a man that is on a path, that knows what he wants to do with his life and knows how he can better himself as a man each and every day. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you don't want a man that don't have no plan. A man with a plan, if you don't have no plan, then shit, you ain't going nowhere, you know? Because now he gonna be looking at you to make all the decisions, like, baby, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like a little boy, like, you need a man that's gonna be able to, you know, hey, you know, when it's time to go, he ready to go. Okay, baby, this is what we gotta do. You know, you want to be able to come to your man and be like, babe, you know, this, you know, what can we do? And he got to answer. Look, okay, bet. We gonna do this, we gonna do this, we gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure you good. I'm gonna make sure our kids good. We gonna do this, we gonna do this. Nigga, lead. You know what I'm saying? If he can't lead himself, he can't lead the household. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's number 3, right? You need a man with a plan. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Okay? All right. So that's number 3. So number 4. Number 4 has it's like 4A, 4B, 4C. Okay, let's do it like that. Okay. 4A is, what is your longest relationship that you've been in, right? So when we say that, it's like, what's your longest relationship that you've been in? You know? Because if your longest relationship was 2 weeks, what does that tell you? He's not a man that can be committed for a long time with a woman. If you've never been with a woman past 2 weeks, past 2 months, you know, then, you know, what does that tell you about that man? You know what I'm saying? Because what's the common denominator between him and all them women that he's ever been with? Is him. So if his longest relationship was 2 weeks, 2 months, you know, then what does that tell you? He's not a committed man, or not a, you know, equipped man to be in a relationship properly. You know what I'm saying? So those red flags right there. Like, why are you only in a relationship for two months, 2 weeks, or whatever? You know, like, that's a red flag, because, you know, what happened? Like, why can't you make it past that mark? You know? So that's already a red flag. Okay. 4B would be, what was your last relationship? So if his last relationship, or like, when was your last relationship? Like, how long ago? Okay. We're going to say, how long ago was your last relationship? Because if his last relationship was when he was in middle school, you know, once again, red fucking flag on the flag on the plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is like, if you have been in a relationship, if you have not been in a relationship for, you know, since you've been in middle school or something, what does that tell you about that man? That tells you that he cannot be in a relationship, you know, since then. You mean to tell me that you ain't been in a relationship since middle school, bro? You know what I'm saying? What does that tell you? That he's not a committed man. He's not a man that can stay committed in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because if all your relationships, you know, that you've been with have just been, you know, fuck buddies, or just people you just been cool with, just kicking it with, just whatever, and you ain't been in no relationship, what does that tell you? If he ain't been in no relationship before, then he might not even have a desire to be in one, you know? So that's that. Now, if he say, you know, his last relationship was 2 weeks ago, now that's still a red flag, because that's too soon, and you don't want to be a rebound, you know? So I would say, like, yeah, maybe like, you know, 6 months ago-ish to like a year ago, then, you know, then that's something different, because now, you know, they gave him time to get over the girl and to kind of move in a new direction, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it was like 2 years ago or something. Like, okay, you know, we'll get it, you know, okay, you know. But if he's 30 and his last relationship was when he was 18, what does that tell you? He ain't been in no relationship because maybe he don't believe in relationships. He don't want to be in no relationship. He just having fun. He ain't met the right girl yet. You know, there's a lot of reasons. But, you know, I would just say that's a red flag, because it's like, you know, what have you been doing all this time? Just fucking, you know? So that's that, right? So that's 4B. So 4C is, how did that last relationship end? So if that last relationship ended badly, you know, like they got into it real bad, or it was a bad breakup. He cheated on her. If he cheated on her, if he's a serial cheater, then, if he cheated on his girlfriends before you, then what's going to make you so special? What's going to make it that you don't get cheated on? You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you got to pay attention to. How did it end? Because if it ended bad, then, that nature of that relationship, might trickle down to your relationship. It might bring that baggage into your relationship because, it could be a number of reasons why the relationship ended, for whatever reason. But if it ended very badly to where, it was his fault, or they just had like a bad just breakup, that might be a red flag too. Not all the time, but sometimes that could be a bad, a red flag because, if they have a bad breakup, then it's like, what about that relationship that was so toxic that y'all just clashed and y'all just exploded? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you ask the man, what did you do to make that woman, act the way she did? Or, well, what did she do to make, you act the way you did? So those are questions that you got to ask. How did it end? Those are very important. How did it end? Now, if it was like a mutual thing, and maybe they just grew apart, whatever, that's then that's a better answer than, we broke up because I cheated, or you know what I'm saying? And he might not admit to it that he cheated, but you might be able to talk to him about it and, come up with your own conclusion. That's another story. Anyways, so number five is, and this might be the most important question that you could ever ask a man when you are about to, get to know him or start dating him, before you start dating him. This might be the best question you can ask him. Number 5 is, what did your childhood look like? So what did your childhood look like? Did you get love when you was a kid? Did you grow up with both parents, with one parent, with no parents? Did you grow up with your grandma? Did you have to bounce from household to household to household? Was you in foster care? Do you have, whatever, what did your childhood look like? Because your childhood shapes up the adult that you are. So if you never got love as a kid, it's going to be hard for you to love as an adult, or receive love or give love because you've never been loved. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your parents never loved you, or your mama never loved you, your dad, your cousins, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your mama, your grandmama, whatever, whoever in your family, if they have never loved you the way you were meant to be loved, you might not know how to properly love anybody or receive love. You might not even know how to receive love. So some men, they don't know how to receive love. Some men didn't grow up on love. They grew up on survival. You know what I'm saying? Some men, they had to grow up fast. They didn't have time to, be loved and to really get to express their emotions and their feelings and how they feel and stuff like that. It was just them just trying to take care of themselves at a young age or whatever. What did your childhood look like? You know what I'm saying? Did you as a child, did you see, your parents yelling at each other to the top of their lungs, and they was just always arguing? Your daddy was cheating on your mama, your grandpa was cheating on your grandma, or maybe your mama was bringing in different men in and out the house, or it's all kinds of, what I'm saying? Like, what did your household look like when you was growing up? What did your childhood look like? Was you bullied as a kid? Did you have a lot of friends growing up? Were you an outcast at school? Did people like you in school? Were you popular in school? Were you not popular in school? Were you lame in school? Did you eat in the restroom at school? At lunchtime because you ain't have no friends? Like what did your childhood look like? And that will tell you a lot about a person, because once you see the foundation of where they came from, now you can see what type of love they need to survive, because everybody loves differently and everybody needs to be loved in different ways, So And that also tell you a lot about him, like what did he go through as a kid, what type of, maybe he went through some traumatic things, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, it was some really bad things that happened to him in his life that, that happened. So you have to just be aware of where his childhood came from, because his childhood, like I said, is very, very important to know, because the child in you is who you are. That's who you are. The inner child in you, that's who you are, just in adult form. Because you might progress, and you might have elevated, because like when you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that foundation of how you grew up, that dictates a lot of how you are as an adult. So if you get to know a man's childhood very well, and you ask him all these questions about his childhood, how he grew up, what's going on, tell me about your childhood in grade school, from the time he was born till now, what the fuck happened, you know what I'm saying? From the time you came out your mama at the hospital till now, what happened? You know what I'm saying? What happened? How did you grow up? You know what I'm saying? What's up? So those are very important questions that you need to ask a man before even getting with him, because that will tell you a lot about him. All 5 of those questions are very important questions that you should ask a man, just so A, you don't waste your time, and then B, you get to see how he is. You're basically screening him, you're grilling him, you're trying to see you're interviewing him, you're trying to see what's up with him, to see if he's a right fit for you. Are you open to a relationship? You're trying to see, are we on the same page? Or what are your thoughts on marriage? Again, are we on the same page, of where this could potentially go? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Where does your life go? Where is your life going? You know what I'm saying? What do you see your life going? What was your longest relationship, that you've been in? What was the longest relationship you've been in? And that goes to tell you okay, the longevity of him being in a relationship. And that can show you okay, is he able to stay in a long committed relationship or not? And then, what was his last relationship? How long ago was it? Was it a long time ago? A long ass time ago? Because if so, then shit, what happened in those periods of time between when you was in middle school, when you was in middle school and you had your girlfriend in middle school, and then now when you haven't had a girlfriend since then? You know what I'm saying? What happened? And then how did it end? Because if it ended bad, then he might be a toxic man, because how it ended sometimes, But sometimes it could be that girl's fault, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then number 5, like I said, is probably the most important one. And like I said, I saved the best for last, and I say, what did your childhood look like? Because if your childhood looked like a war zone, or it was just a terrible childhood, then it's going to be, you'll have a better understanding as a woman of how to properly love this man if you do choose to, date him and be in a relationship with him or whatever. Or you can see how his foundation is and say, you know what? Nah, I don't want to deal with it because you got too much baggage. Some people are fucked up. Some people are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they grew up fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And they adult and they fucked up. And they just fucked up. And that's just how they is. And you can't change them. That's how they is. You know what I'm saying? And you can choose to deal with them or not. We all have flaws. We all have ups and downs. But it's up to you to say, do I want to deal with it or not? Do I want to take that person and all their flaws? Or do I want to say, you know what? I'm gonna just leave that. Maybe you as a woman, you don't have time to build up a man or to try to love a man that doesn't know how to love, or what. If you don't have time for that, I don't blame you. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to go through with it and see about him, be my guest. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you. So, ladies, those are 5 questions that every woman should ask a man before they start dating him. And I hope you enjoyed this video.